The most dangerous opponent you will ever face has no face, and he knows your every move. The gymnasium at 3 in the morning is not merely a building. It is a liminal space, a cathedral of quiet violence situated somewhere between the waking world and the realm of dreams. The air here hangs heavy, a stagnant, humid cocktail of ozone, cured leather, and the sharp, metallic tang of dried effort. Outside, the city has finally succumbed to a restless, gray slumber, its chaotic machinery silenced by the dark. But inside, under the flickering hum of a singular dying halogen bulb, the rhythm of war persists. There are no spectators here to witness the spectacle. There are no roaring crowds to validate the struggle, no blinding floodlights to glamorize the suffering. There is only the solitary, hypnotic thud of knuckles against the air and the rasp of laboring lungs. In the center of the ring stands a man, stripped to the waist, his skin glistening with a sheen of perspiration that maps the geography of his exhaustion. He is fighting, yet there is no one else in the room. He is shadow boxing. To the uninitiated observer, the shadow boxer appears to be engaging in a pantomime of aggression, a frantic dance with a ghost. But the elite, those who have stared into the abyss of their own potential, understand the terrifying reality of this ritual. The shadow is not merely a silhouette cast against the peeling paint of the far wall. It is a projection of the self's deepest insecurities, a manifestation of the Jungian shadow. It is the composite of every failure, every moment of hesitation, every whisper of mediocrity that has ever echoed in the hollow chambers of the mind. When he throws a jab, snapping it back with the precision of a piston, he is not aiming at the empty air. He is striking at the version of himself that wanted to stay in the warmth of his bed that morning. When he ducks under a phantom hook, he is evading the seductive, gravitational pull of complacency. This is not athleticism, it is an exorcism performed through kinetic violence. His lungs burn with the familiar acidic fire of oxygen deprivation, a sensation he has learned not just to tolerate, but to crave as a marker of truth. In this sanctuary of solitude, pain is the only honest metric. The world beyond these brick walls is filled with comfortable lies, algorithms that promise easy wealth, influencers who peddle shortcuts to enlightenment, and a soft society that views discomfort as a pathology to be cured rather than a teacher to be heeded. Here, in the ring, there is no hiding behind a curated persona. The mirror on the far wall reflects a man pushing past the biological safety valves that scream for cessation. He moves with a feral grace, his feet tracing complex geometries on the canvas, pivoting, sliding, attacking. But the shadow is faster. The shadow knows his moves before he makes them, because the shadow is him. It is the architect of his doubts. A memory surfaces unbidden, a jagged shard of glass in his gut. It isn't a memory of a catastrophic event, but of a slow, agonizing erosion. He remembers the years spent drifting, the procrastination masked as planning, the slow surrender to the good enough. That was the true defeat. Losing a match is a statistic. Losing your soul to apathy is a tragedy. He throws a vicious combination, a left hook to the body followed by an overhand right, exhaling sharply with each strike to purge the memory. The sound cracks through the silence like a whip. He is trying to murder the man he used to be. He is trying to carve a new identity out of the marble of his own exhaustion. The fatigue is a heavy cloak now, dragging at his limbs, turning his muscles into lead. This is the precipice. This is the moment the average man negotiates a truce with his ambition, signing a peace treaty with mediocrity. But he does not stop. This is the essence of the dark night of the soul. It is easy to be disciplined when the sun is shining, the coffee is fresh, and the dopamine is flowing. But the true architecture of character is built in the dark, in the silence, when the brain is screaming logic and reason, begging you to conserve energy. He realizes then that the shadow is not trying to defeat him, it is testing his right to exist. It is the gatekeeper of high performance. The universe does not yield its treasures to the talented, it yields them to the relentless. Talent is cheap, brilliance is common. But the capacity to endure suffering without witnessing a finish line, that is rare. That is the currency of kings. Suddenly he stumbles. His foot catches on a loose fold of the canvas, his balance betraying him for a fraction of a second. He drops his hands, gasping, his chest heaving like a bellows in a forge. The silence rushes back in, deafening and judgmental. In the mirror, he sees himself, eyes hollow, ribs heaving, a portrait of utter systemic depletion. The shadow stands opposite him, calm, waiting, unbruised. It is the seductive voice of the void whispering that it is okay to rest, that nobody is watching. Enough is the most dangerous word in the English language. Enough is the grave of greatness. He looks at his own reflection, locking eyes with the abyss. He feels the magnetic pull of gravity, the primal desire to collapse onto the cool canvas and sleep. It would be so easy to just let go. Then, a subtle shift occurred, a hardening of the jaw, a narrowing of the eyes. He realizes that the shadow will never leave. It is not a dragon to be slain, but a sparring partner to be mastered. You do not kill the dark side of your nature, you integrate it. You harness that aggression, that fear, that darkness, and you use it as fuel. He raises his hands. The leather gloves feel heavy like stones, but he raises them. He resets his stance. He doesn't do it for applause. He does it because the alternative is to become the man who quit, and that man is dead. He throws the next punch. It is slow, ugly, lacking the crisp snap of the first round. But it is the most beautiful punch he has ever thrown because it was thrown in defiance of his own biology. He keeps moving, dancing in the dim light, a solitary figure raging against the dying of the light. You are never fighting the opponent in front of you. You are always and only fighting yourself. And tonight, he is winning.